Okay, we are on the connector trail, which connects the Soldiers Trail to the Flagstaff Arboretum Trail. And I'm going to film the entire ride today. So hold on for a long video. Okay, at this sign, we're leaving the county park and entering Forest Service land. Signs say caution, forestry operations ahead. It means they're doing some logging, thinning out the forest. Be kind of cool if we could see some of that. This connector trail, 7/10 of a mile, and then the Arboretum Trail is actually 2.2 of a mile, or miles. And we're going to ride just a tick farther than that till we get to this Forest Service road. And that's where we'll turn around and come back. I don't mind telling you, this connector trail is a rough little trail, especially when you're riding a hardtail. Gotta get my stump jumper squish out, get it back going. Jeez. Whoa, jeez, that darn near hit that big loose rock there. That had the potential for upsetting me. And of course there's a pedal strike. Just telling my friend Nick, I'm not so sure I could get the little nubs out of my pedals. I've struck so many rocks. Just about all of them are beat up. I have to use a small easy out to get some of them out for sure. Okay, we're coming to the Arboretum Trail. From this signpost, it's 2.2 miles to the end of this trail. It dips down for about 3/10 of a mile right into the Flagstaff Arboretum. We're not going to go that way. We're going to stay up and go about another, I'm going to say another mile to a Forest Service road. This is just so beautiful back in here. Summertime, wintertime, spring, fall, doesn't matter. This is just a beautiful little section of the forest. And the trail, for an old guy like me, flows. So it's nothing wild, but yet just wild enough to make me feel sporty. But yet not wild enough to kill me. We hope. The way these rocks are catching me today, you just never know. It's been a couple months since I've been on this trail. I've been riding a trail system over in East Flag. That's pretty cool. It's pretty much just as nice as this, actually. Just a little different scenery. What I've got to do is start riding like Mount Eldon and those, and Schultz Pass. That's what I gotta do. Oh, okay. Sure, buddy. Well, damn. Kind of screwed me up. Alright. Oh well. All worked. Worked out good. You know, I'm gonna stop. That one, little pinch point is in the back of my head that I can't make it. Going uphill, going downhill, I kill it. Going uphill, just kind of is in my head. That was a big shift in the wrong direction. What a beautiful ride. Caution again, forestry operations. Oh, I missed that one. I didn't even see it. Like I said in previous videos, it's a beautiful meadow off to my right. Also off to my right, you can see the dome of the Naval Observatory here in Flagstaff. Okay, here comes this fence line. I don't know. I think I'm in National Forest Service. This side of the fence, this other side, I have no idea where I'm at. Who owns it? Or controls it? You know, I think this is a logging operation. I'm seeing a lot of limbs down. I don't say I've seen any stumps, but I went through a spot there where there was just a lot of debris from trees, like somebody was cutting it. Boy, don't know what happened there. I got the wrong line for sure. That's an easy place to go through. If you take the right line, take the wrong line. It's like you're just bouncing. Not that you're gonna crash. Not that it's hard, but it makes it a little more interesting. Where it doesn't have to be. And the reason I got stuck in that jank was I was looking at and thinking about all that debris from that tree. Those guys have been cutting. Again, trying to figure out what they did. I should just keep my eyes on the road. Tell me this isn't a sweet trail, guys. coming to the end of the Flagstaff Arboretum Trail. Up here at this junction that we're coming to, if you go right 3/10 of a mile that way, you'll come to the Arboretum. Exactly. We're going to go left, and I don't know what you call this trail because it takes us to the bottom of Woody Mountain Trail where you start to climb up and over Woody Mountain to Rogers Lake. So maybe this is an extension of the Woody Mountain Trail. Just we're not climbing yet, even though I go up a little hill. Isn't this pretty back here? The other things back here, we'll pass them up here, are wells for the city of Flagstaff. It's their water wells. And just about 30 miles to the west of here is Williams. And pretty much Williams, everybody has to haul their water in. There are no wells. That said, they do have a couple dams and a couple small reservoirs. And I think that's where the city actually gets its water. But most of the people have to haul water. Go someplace where they can get it for free, buy it. I think they buy it. And then haul it to their cisterns. And you can almost tell it's at least once a month, if not once a week, like a Saturday job. And it's not uncommon to see trucks with either tanks in the bed or plastic tanks in the bed or plastic tanks on the trailer pulling them around up here. And they're getting water for their cisterns. But Flagstaff doesn't seem to have that problem. So just 30 miles to the east of Williams, back this way, there doesn't seem to be a problem. There's like about at least 4 wells, if not 5 up here. And when Ryan, my son, was a commercial diver, he used to come up here once, if not twice a year, and dive in their water storage tanks. And basically they would film the tanks so the city knew what kind of shape they were in. Or if there needed to be repairs, they dive and make the repairs. But before you go in those tanks, again, that's city water, they'd suit him up. And of course he's in like what's a dry suit and a hard hat. And they'd spray him down with bleach, of all things, before he went in. I thought that was pretty cool. And the only time, I won't say he said he got scared, but the only time he thought, kind of got his attention in a big way, he was in this huge tank in Flagstaff. He was all the way at the back. All the way at the back and the bottom, farthest most. And there's like superstructures inside there to hold the tank. You can't see them from the outside, of course, but on the inside it's laced with bracing. And so he crawled all the way to the back and all the way to the bottom. And was just getting ready to come back when they radioed him and told him that he needed to come back because the generator, the air generator on top in the trailer ceased to function, broke. Now, they immediately switched him to backup bottles, which there's a whole bank of backup bottles. But again, it's not supported by a compressor. It's just what you got is what you got. And then he also had a bailout bottle. So he really wasn't in any danger, and he knew he wasn't in any danger. But he said it really got his attention. He said, damn, I'm a long ways from the exit. And he was. And nothing happened. He made it out. But that's why they have all those backup systems and redundancy. Actually, it's a pretty safe industry that way, except it's not a matter of if you're going to get vent or the bends, especially when you're diving in the Gulf of Mexico. It's when. And it happens more than once. So some of these guys are really screwed up in their say mid 40s, somewhere in there. It's when they usually go on to become a supervisor and don't dive anymore. But Ryan didn't have that problem. I don't think he was ever bent. He did dive in the Gulf of Mexico. That's where he broke out, meaning after you go to school, you're a deck tender for a while, for divers, and then you go into diving, sort of earn your position. And so he had just earned his position diving, and he got this job in Phoenix, of all things. Commercial diving outfit in the middle of the desert. Go figure, right? But it's a lot of canal diving, dam diving, and tank diving. Also at the mine sites, he had to several times dive in these pools where the acidity is a little more than normal. Kind of dangerous in a way. But again, they're in a full suit, and so that's the difference. But you get hazardous pay. Also, the other thing he did was there's tunnels in these canal systems that you don't see, where they'll tunnel under a freeway, tunnel under a mountain, tunnel under whatever. And you have to go in these tunnels underwater, and you get paid by the foot. And now that would be scary to me. And he's had to do it where he's had to crawl in. Of course, he's not claustrophobic. I am. That would be a non-starter for me. But anyway, we're coming to the Forest Service Road. That's my story about my son and his commercial diving. When he gave up commercial diving, he worked for a gun company for about 6 years, putting together guns. And then he's now deputy sheriff for Coconino County. And my wife, when he got that job, she never said anything to him, but she looked at me in private one night and said, why can't he find something to do that won't kill him? And I give it to him. He's kind of on the edge, if you know what I mean. He just can't have a regular job. He's got to have one with excitement. Okay, behind me is the trail that starts up over Woody Mountain. And we're going to stop right here, get a drink, and then we'll head on back. So it's kind of out and back today. I'll pick you up on the flip when we start back. Okay, we've had a nice little break, got some water, and we're going to head back. So it's about at least 3 miles back to 3, and then a little more, maybe almost 4 miles back to Soldier's Trail. So, I was telling you about my son putting together guns for about 5 or 6 years. It was called American Spirit Arms. And anyway, they have different kind of rifles and pistols. I think Australia Army bought some pistols from them in mass and such. But he thoroughly enjoyed that. He's I call him my little gun nut, even though he's taller than me and bigger than me. I call him my little gun nut. He that's his passion, that's his hobby. Guns pretty much in any form, fashion, or whatever. He used to, when we were living down in Phoenix, in the West Valley, he would go out every Saturday and shoot by himself after a while, when he got older, of course. And that's his passion. It's kind of funny, the Smith men in our family, his passion is guns. My passion is race cars. Love race cars. And my dad's passion was trains, of all things. And he could tell you all about trains, steam locomotives. This is what he really, really liked. But he also loved diesels too. So that was his hobby. Mine was race cars. Ryan's is guns. So we're a diverse little group. So the other part of the story was, like I said, Ryan stayed in commercial diving. My Ryan stayed in commercial diving longer than the other guys. Nick, I'm not sure whether he even used it or not. He did graduate and he could have, but like I told you on the Nick video, when I rode with him, he went to work for the Defense Department and went back to Iraq. For sure Iraq, maybe even Afghanistan. He spent quite a few years doing that before he finally settled down. But Ryan Hogan, who was another one of the friends, he did it for a little bit too, maybe a little longer. Commercial diving. He was the one to come up with the idea of commercial diving school, and they all said, yeah. Thanks, Ryan Hogan. Anyway, he was the one to come up with the idea. But he stayed in it a little bit. But then he went back into the Coast Guard. So he was a Marine, and he was also an amphib driver, I think. And and he was also 29 Palms. They were all together. But Ryan Hogan decided that he wanted to go back in. So he went into the Coast Guard, of all things, got stationed in Hawaii, and was a ship's diver. So that was pretty cool. I don't think he had to go to the Naval Dive School in Florida, wherever that's at. You got to be pretty good to do that. But he could have. There's nothing. That's one of the sharpest kids I've ever met, I'll tell you. But he was just the ship's diver, of all things. And then he got out of that, and I think he's retired now, believe it or not, living in Colorado. So he's done quite well for himself. And they've all done quite well for themselves. Nick's brother, Tyrell, is an auto mechanic. And you think, oh, that's not good. But it is good. That kid is sharp. I mean, he's sharp. He's the one you want to work on your car if you got problems. Tyrell can fix it. He was always my ace in the hole when he lived here. So anyway, that's the kids. They're all doing good. They're all making their own way. And I'm going to show Nick this trail sometime in the near future, if I can get him up here. And again, I got to go back down there. So my buddy Marty's coming home for Christmas. Excuse me. He's a contractor. He's on the road. He's in the Boston area right now. He's going to take the holidays off starting Thanksgiving. So I am going to go down south and have some videos with Marty and his wife, riding with them. It's always fun. Maybe we can get Nick out there with us. All right. Here's some forest operations. I'm going to switch subjects on you guys. Anyways, I can see the tracks of the skid, log skid. Anyway, they're not working today. It's Friday. No one work on Friday. Okay, here we are at the junction again. To my left, we go down to Flagstaff Arboretum. We are on the Flagstaff Arboretum trail right now. 2.2 miles to the next junction. And then we'll hit that little connector trail. And we'll be back in the County Park Fort Tuckhill and back on the Soldiers Trail. Again, this is going to be a boring video for most of you guys because it's going to be long and just winding back and forth on this trail. And you're going to get tired of it real quick. But I'm actually making this video for myself. And the reason is this is my favorite trail. So I figure when I'm 90 years old and sitting in that nursing home, I'll dial up my channel and I'll relive the glory days of this trail. See, the skid was through here. Anyway, and then I can watch the whole thing in my old age and remember and say, hey, I used to do that. So this video here today isn't really made for anybody but me. And that's okay, right? So skiing starts next week, a week from today actually. Next Friday, this is Friday the 10th I think, November 10th, 2023. And skiing starts next Friday the 17th. And I am excited. I gotta dig my boots out tonight and start wearing them around the house at night. Break my feet in, so to speak. I don't really have to. My boots are very, very comfortable, and I could not have to do that. Just show up the first day of skiing and put them on, and I know I'd be happy. But it's always a good idea. Wear your boots around the house, maybe an hour each night, just to kind of get that feel again. And so last year too, I'll tell you. So last year we took snow-go lessons, and you can see the videos of that. And we had to rent snowboarding boots to do snow-goes. Those bikes, they're ski bikes that you ride. And so yesterday, of all things, I went to Goodwill, and I don't know what possessed me, but thank God I did. Because I went in the back there, and they had skis, which are old and kind of nice actually, but they were old. And there was a pair of snowboard boots, and they fit. They were a little beat up, but not that bad. And they have laces, which I think all snowboard boots now have buckles or fasteners, different fasteners. I don't think they have laces. So these are definitely older. But the neat thing is they fit, they're in good enough shape for me, and they look good actually. And they're perfect for snow going. I would not be a snowboarder. I'm a skier, I'm not a snowboarder. But these things would be perfect for the snow go. And I was going to buy a pair, just to buy the cheapest, lowest end, right? And the lowest end's like $150, $200. Not 200. I don't think they're 150. I think they're closer to 200. And I was willing to do that. I really was. But I picked these things up for, get this, $12.49. Can you believe that? $12.49. And I thought, well, even if they fall apart on me, I'm only out $12.49. But they won't. I polished them up last night, and damned if they don't look good. I'm going to buy a new pair of laces, and they'll really look sharp then. And again, like I say, I'm not a snowboarder, not wearing them. I'm going to wear them about once a month, and for half a day, because I'm going to rent a snow go once a month. Be my treat to myself, and I'll just play with it for about a half a day. I think that's about all I can muster energy-wise. It's pretty good though. Okay. We're coming to that road. This road used to be all tore up. Really janky going across. Actually, it was kind of fun, really. But with these forest operations, they've actually smoothed it out. So it's not as much fun anymore. It's just a road you go across. Man, it's pretty in here. So I'm going to go riding at least 2 more times next week prior to going skiing, and kind of get myself in some form of little shape. And anyway, I might go to East Flag next time. And if I do that, I'll take the camera and record that ride. That too is a beautiful ride. And again, it'll be a long video made for nobody other than me, so that I can remember what I used to do. God, hope they don't take this tree. He's a beaut. Okay.